Hello there. So this is part 3, and I think it's going to be the last part. As we are not left with a lot to talk about here, or to explain, most of the things left are very easy to set up. Let me just show you what is left here. So it's just and the other thing I did is added some kind of shaking to the ground, and the way you do that is you just select the blocks, the ground blocks, and go to tab into our curve editor, control tab, and just select the Z property. So object, Z location, shift H to just view only that selected property. And then go under key, add F curve modifiers and add a noise modifier. You can see it shakes up the ground. You can see the shake is too much, so that's why you see these are bouncing up quite a lot. So we need to control the noise so that we can cap it so that it's not that high. So just hit N to access the modifiers, and then you can restrict the frame if you want the shake to start off and end somewhere. So you can start at you can start at frame 0 and end at frame 100. You can see that. And I also don't want it to start too high, so you want it, if you want it to start slow, you can reduce, you can see how it's reducing there, and also reduce the out value, but still it's too high. The peak is too high, so you can go under the strength and reduce it by a bit. Let's zoom in a bit. So now see, you can see the shake is there, but it's not as pronounced. Let me increase it just a bit. You can see now we do have some shake. I think that's still too much. So anyway, that's how you add the shake. Let's see what else is remaining here. By the way, before I continue, I would like to appreciate all my Patreons that have been supporting me for a while. I rarely do mention their names, but I really do appreciate their support. So Daniel Sham, he has been around for a while. Ivo Shoemaker, I think, I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name, but yeah, has also been here for a while. Wim Van Bell, Yi Leng Yang, they've all been supporting me for quite some time. Jitsu Suzuki, yeah, I really appreciate your support. And I would have Daniel Botelho, Team Bodim, Damax FX. Yeah, those are some of my patrons, and yeah, thank you a lot. And any other patrons who has been supporting me previously, and yeah, I really appreciate your support. So yeah, let's continue with the tutorial, and let's see what else we. Yeah, so I was trying to add some shake to the camera, because if you add some shake to the camera, it also sells the effect even better. So let me just show you here in the final scene here how that looks when the camera shake is on. You can see most of this is just the camera shake that it kind of the so if you add that, you can also still use the noise modifier as I showed you. So you just select the camera, select any of the property you want to use, either rotation or Z location, and add the same noise modifier as we have set it up already. And you would add that shake to make it a little bit, maybe let me show you how I did that. So Z location, shift H to just see that, and then add key modifiers, noise modifier. Just so our scene is not too laggy, let me first turn off the rigid body world. So if you go under these settings here, you can turn off the world for a setting so that you don't have any simulation, just so you can see how much the camera movement, the camera shake adds to the scene. So you can turn that back on so that we can have the simulation. Yeah, anyway, that's how you add the shake to the camera. And let's see, again, you can control it using the modifier settings as I showed you previously. Let's see, what else should we talk about here? Again, everything else you can just go watch the time lapse. As I said, I won't make this too long and too detailed. You can just go watch the time lapse where I show everything. So let's see what else. For any other things like the car or the traffic light, by the way, you can get the traffic light from my CG Trader account. I can buy it from there, or if you're a Patreon, I'll be leaving uploading the project directly to my Patreon. Sometimes I forget uploading the projects, but if you're a Patreon and you want any of the projects we have worked on, you can just send me a message and I'll make sure to upload that for you or send it to you directly. But this project will be there, this version, the original version, including the cars, the traffic light, and everything. Anyway, so to set up those, you just have to find the objects. Let me just, instead of adding the card, let me just open the original project so that I can copy paste the card directly there. You just make it a rigid body, and everything else will be left to the physics simulator to handle. Anyway, so let's just copy one of the cars here. Let's see. Just copy any of the cars, or just get the car where you get it, paste it into your scene, and you need to make it a rigid body object. Make sure it's active, and you can give it some mass if you want to. And if you scale it in your scene, make sure you apply the scale, otherwise the rigid body system will use the original scale as the object scale. So again, place it correctly. I'll just place it around the fault line so that we can see how that looks. You can see how the ground is moving with it. Okay, nearly missed, so let's just put it around there. Okay, so we're having our fault line, and let's see now. Yeah, I think it looks great. Let's play back in real time now. Yeah, looks nice. What else? I did the same technique where you just place the traffic light directly onto the surface. Yeah, so what else? Let's see what else can I talk about here. Yeah, the smoke simulation is quite simple. You just add a domain. Let's go back. I still have some time. I want this to be 10 minutes only. So for the smoke simulator, again, you just add a cube. That will be your domain to contain the smoke simulation. Scale it up to fit. It doesn't have to fit the entire scene. Go to the physics tab, turn on smoke, set it as a domain, and the emitter, you can just pull them directly from this surface. So you go to edit mode and make sure you are in the edit mode of key 1 so that you also capture those deformations, and just select an edge loop like that, shift D and then P to separate that edge loop. Let me go to object mode here, where I can select that edge loop. See, it comes with the animation and everything, and also the deformation, which is a nice thing. The other thing is, the thing we want to remove is the rigid body system, because we don't want to use that. And then you just use it, just give it a smoke simulation, a smoke property, and a type of flow, so that you can see it, so that it can start emitting some smoke. You can see, you already see smoke, but to control the smoke a little bit better, you want to the flow source to be particles, since these are easy to direct and tell them where to go. So you just set up the settings there and use that particle system as the particle system in your smoke settings. And you also do it for the second area, or second. And see, have the smoke. Yeah, my scene is a bit too slow right now. I don't know. The original version wasn't that, so maybe because I have two projects open, but yeah, that's how you basically set up everything. So yeah, the smoke should work like that, and you can set it up for this. So if you want this middle part to fall, you can animate it directly. Let me first turn off this top layer, and let me also first remove it from the rigid body world. So if I select all these, go to object, rigid body, remove, just for a second so that I can work on this here. I want it to kind of fall down like that as the simulation is happening. So I think I can give it a rigid body of active, but I also need it to stand on something, so I'll add another rigid body down here. I didn't do this in the original version, so this is like a bonus part. So give this a rigid body passive. This is active. Now let's first turn off animated for a second. And see it falls, but because it starts with it intersecting with the other parts, that's why you see it's kind of shaking. So if we give it the animated part, the animated property, we can start making it fall at around here. So add a keyframe, and then turn off the keyframe, turn off the animation property at around there. So let's see. Okay, it's still intersecting with these other objects. So I think we should start we should turn off the animation after the intersection is already done, so that it doesn't intersect with the rest of the objects. You can see I'm going to increase its mass a bit. You can see now. Oh, I think the car is kind of intersecting with that for some reason. So let's see. Let me just give it a convex hull. You can see. You know what? I think the best way to do this would just be to just animate it directly by hand. I don't think it would be that hard to animate. So if you just around here, you can make it start falling onto the surface. And let's see. Oh, I think the best way would to just, instead of using this object as the rigid body, you would just add a cube like this, and cube like this, and move it to a different layer. I think physics property layer. I haven't tried this before, so I'm just experimenting right now. Give it a rigid body system, make sure it's active, and so that it doesn't, to make sure that it doesn't collide with any of the other objects in the scene. we can just give it a different collision layer. So let's see. You can see it doesn't collide with any of the other objects, and but we want it to collide with this layer, so I'll also put this on the same layer as that, so you can see it's falling there. And what we can do then is animate this tilting to this side. Really, I want it to be scaled just a tiny bit like this, and animate it tilting to the one side. So I'll just add a keyframe around there. And let me first turn off the rigid body so that I can easily keyframe this. Animate it tilting to this side, and then give it a rigid body, turn on animated, and turn it off. Okay, the tilt wasn't enough to make it fall over, so let me first turn off this and tilt it even further like that. Turn back rigid body, and let me give it a really high mass. And I think I need to apply scale and rotation for this to work properly. You know what, let me end this tutorial here. I'll just continue with the experimenting in a different part.